Hello and welcome to Horror Mania Empire. I am Josh,
And I'm Jacob.
and today we will be talking about something that isn't exactly the greatest topic, but we're gonna have some positivity out of it in the end of it. So, for those of you who don't know, on July 24th at 11 a.m., Halloween Horror Nights Orlando's Twitter posted this tweet right here announcing that Halloween Horror Nights in both Orlando and Hollywood would not be happening this year. While I know a lot of us are disappointed about it, I know personally I was, Jacob, I know you
hmm
definitely were. I can't say it's not unexpected. It kind of felt like that was going to happen, and I had the feeling on the 24th in the morning. This is being recorded on that day. So, I had a feeling this morning that something was up because originally the tribute store was supposed to open today
Yeah.
and they were talking about it the whole week. Management even told them that. But when people showed up today to see the tribute store, they were told at the door that it wouldn't be opening today. While technically this wasn't because of Horror Nights not happening, it was apparently due to a sprinkler system going off inside, and I don't think any of us wanted to walk into a swimming pool. But generally, that was something what before I knew that knowledge just felt a little suspicious. And then there's photos coming out because they started putting up the facade for the Men in Black tent house this year. And someone spotted that they were actually taking it back down this morning about like 30 minutes
Yeah, it
before the
was.
announcement.
And the announcement may have been later in the day, too.
It might have been later. Well,
Yeah.
if it's later in the day, you can blame Jacob because Jacob's the one that said 11 a.m. All I know is I was on the couch, I saw Twitter, and I just see the tweet come up. I couldn't believe it at first. I'm like, no way they just did this because from my knowledge, from what I've heard, this decision was not made till the 23rd, the day before. This is a decision that was told to the creative team the day before. The only ones that knew about it the day before was the creative team and the higher ups, and all team members, including some of the scare actors that were going to be part of Halloween Horror Nights 30, were informed this morning, very early in the morning. So they had only about a few hours ahead of time on us,
Yeah.
on knowing that information. It's not the best of days, to say the least.
Yeah, and it's not even that it's being canceled, it's the fact that they were putting up all these things that said, hey, it's gonna happen this year. And then the news came out, and no, it's not happening. They had the merch come out, they had the tribute store facade go up. We all thought it was going to happen for sure this year. And then the news.
I was worried the first signs that Orlando might not be happening is the fact people already knew Hollywood was taking down their facades. That was about a week ago now, right?
Yeah.
Roughly a week ago, where they were showing images like this one here of them taking down the facades in Hollywood. That's not a good sign. From what I heard originally, the plan was that Hollywood wasn't going to happen, mainly due to the fact that they didn't know when they could actually open. Because as of right now, California's rules are much stricter than Florida's.
Yeah.
Not gonna get political, but that's just the fact is that theirs was stricter. Ours were very, very, very loose. So technically speaking, Orlando could have still gone ahead with this event, but they didn't. I think this was both an economic decision and a public safety decision.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, I don't think the priority, as much as I know Universal as a company, I trust them. They do care about our safety. I still think the priority was the economy on this. Like, when it comes down to it, Universal's already in a down slope right now. They're struggling. They've been struggling since March. And them trying to put on this event is very, very expensive. It is an expensive event. It's their
Yeah.
most expensive event.
Even just the fog itself.
Just the fog alone. Their fog budget's through the roof. Everyone loves that HHN fog, but it ain't cheap. Um, just generally, they might have done the math behind it somewhere higher up and recognized that even if they had a decent show out, it wouldn't be enough that it was worth still holding the event this year. And I respect Universal's decision. I'm not going to get mad at them for their decisions. I know definitely they definitely care and the economic side did come into play, but overall, I'm not going to get mad. What happened happened. We can't change that. And that's just what I'm thinking right now. Tell me a little about what you're thinking, Jacob.
I'm thinking that they should definitely have a good event next year because the more time they have, because they're not taking down the houses this year, so they already have a lot of things in it, but they can add to it, which they wouldn't be able to do before because they wouldn't have enough time. Now they have the time, so the houses could be improved a lot more.
So, on that statement, although that's what I believe, is the fact is, from a labor standpoint, it would not make sense for them to take down most of the houses. Although the parade building ones, if they do have Mardi Gras, will have to come down. Also, IPs, not 100% sure how they're going to do that. Whether they did have the IP, it depends how they did the contracts. If they did the contracts like for a Horror Nights year, then they should be fine. If they did it for something like this specific year, they're going to have issues. They're going to have to negotiate with the IPs and hopefully not have to take those
Some
down.
IPs will stay the same, some will go.
That would be interesting if, like, the spec maps we know about, like Texas Chainsaw and stuff like that. What if, like, Texas Chainsaw got switched out with something? Although, we're going to talk a little bit about our speculation in a moment, but generally, here's what we're thinking. They'll probably keep the houses built. Maybe a few might have to get taken down just because they might need to rent out the space, but overall, probably not. Two, this is not 100% fact. Take it with a grain of salt. This is just my assumption. The tribute store might still be open. Don't know till when, but will be probably open, possibly even tomorrow,
Yeah.
aka the 25th, possibly when this video comes out. Basically, what I'm thinking is the fact is the main reason they closed this tribute store today was because of the sprinkler incident. It was supposed to still open today, even despite them knowing that Halloween Horror Nights was off. They're gonna just grind out that money because we all know we all want those vintage shirts from like Fright Nights. Although they got the year wrong originally, they fixed it. Halloween Horror Nights, 1999 as well
Yeah.
with the
And
Mummy
then they
shirt,
can
and then
resell the
the
shirts from
Jack
last year
shirt.
too.
And they can sell the rest of the extra shirts they have lying around. You know they bulked up on that merch already. So as long as it's not IP related merch and it's just generic merch that won't give away anything, like what was released already on the Universal Orlando shop online, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll sell that
I
pretty
just
well.
don't think all the rooms will be open.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it might just be the front room. I don't know if they're gonna. Here's the thing. Although I say they can possibly open tomorrow, they might just let it air out a few days, let people like back off, and then give them some happiness out of this by saying like, "Hey guys, we're gonna open the tribute store still."
Yeah.
That's my hope. Okay, now we're gonna talk about our speculation for what we can expect for Halloween Horror Nights 30 in 2021.
Yay.
Oh, it's gonna get so confusing with the years now. Like, it was such a perfect lineup. Like,
Yeah.
2020, 30th anniversary, now it's gonna be all 1 year back. First thing I'm gonna say, not everyone will agree with, because it's something they haven't done before, but with the current situation, is more likely than ever to happen. It may not ever happen again. We could see up to 11, 12, possibly even 13 houses if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm expecting them, if this is in the scenario they keep the houses up that are currently up, I could see them putting up to 13 houses. Here's why. They don't use every soundstage that they're capable of using every year. Sometimes it's due to something recording in that soundstage that year or something like that, but almost nothing's recording at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of things will be recording in Orlando anytime soon.
No.
So, theoretically, if they want to up it to like 11, 12 houses to make up for this year, I am not going to complain.
Yeah. A lot of people just want them to have like 10 houses at each park and have one mega event, but
I
they don't have
okay,
the budget for that.
this might not be popular at all. I just don't think the infrastructure for islands can really handle it. What they could do though, actually, that might be really smart, is they could try and make use of the stage space for Sinbad,
Yeah.
like that section, because it's unused. It would be an interesting thing to see, but like they've used the Popeyes queue line as a house. So
Yeah.
anything, if they can pull that off, I can't be surprised by what they can pull off. These guys are talented. These guys are an amazing team. I just want to add, this day is sad for us, but you got to recognize that this could be an even worse day for some people on the creative team for Halloween Horror Nights,
Yeah.
because they've been working on this for months, and some people really rely on that job, and they may have just lost their jobs. And I just want to say, wherever you are, if you're listening, we really appreciate you. We thank you for everything you've done, and we hope everything works out for you. If you still have your job, thank God. If you don't, we know you're going to pull something off amazing in the future, and we hope to see it all.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this works out. I just saw that Halloween Horror Nights Orlando tweeted right now about, oh, that was actually much earlier, that they're putting the finishing touches on the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store, and it'll be opening, although the event is canceled. So they're going to have an official opening date soon. So that worked out. I guess my prediction was actually perfectly spot on. And you guys already know that because it's already the 25th. But anyways, that's actually pretty funny. So yes, Tribute Store is coming out still, as I said. I'm amazing. How did I predict that? Uh, okay. So back on predictions for next year. Do what IPs are we gonna still have? Do you think we'll lose any IPs? If we do lose any IPs, which ones do you think it'll be?
I feel like we might lose the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, that's the same one I'm thinking. If we're gonna lose an IP, it's gonna be Texas Chainsaw. Who owns Texas Chainsaw Massacre again? Is it Warner
Uh,
Brothers? I don't
I don't
remember.
think so.
If I'm wrong, comment in
I'll
the
put it on the
description.
screen.
Yeah, he'll put it on the screen and that works too. But I definitely think if we're gonna lose any IP, it's gonna be that one. And no offense to Texas Chainsaw, but if I want to lose any IP, I'm fine with that one. Like if anything, that's one I can accept losing.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna lose the Billie Eilish one because she'll still go to the event. She's still
Yeah.
obsessed with the event. That's not gonna change. Uh, that might be actually one they can easily keep up because she's gonna still keep with it. She probably, you don't
Yeah.
even know. She might have already kept the IP renewed for next year since this year's not happening. Let's see. Haunting of Hill House should be fine because of how close they are with Netflix on deals right now. They might even add what they could even. That's actually something to think about.
Adding more Netflix shows.
Next year, if they do extra houses, they could just build a Stranger Things house because season 4 will be out by then.
True.
Because it comes out this October, I believe.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, so season 4 comes out this October, the final season, which I think will be perfect to see in a Halloween Horror Nights house. So that's one of my predictions is if we see another house, we could see a Stranger Things house. And probably another original. That'd be my bets.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, now for our thoughts on icons. Are they gonna keep the concept of still using Jack for next year? Or could we see, because I know they filmed a commercial already that
Yeah.
was spotted. Could we see them using that commercial initially for next year and then coming out later revealing that not just Jack would be returning, but most of the icons? What do you think?
I I feel like Terra Queen, because she wasn't on this, they weren't on the spec map anymore.
Yeah, they were in the initial one
They
and
could
haven't shown
bring
up
her
since.
back as her own house too to fill up one of the other ones, since you said they might have up to 13.
Okay, I can see that.
And then, well, they could also have scare zones with her because they did that in 15. The whole thing was all of her scare zones. The whole event was hers pretty much. And that was also in Islands of Adventure.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. Um, I still don't think they're gonna use islands. I don't see them using islands really at all. The only areas they could use in islands are spots not currently being used, which is very limited. Uh, I still think you're gonna see mostly involvement in studios only. Anyways, any other predictions you have?
No, not much at the moment.
Yeah, I think I am out of predictions for now. These are just initial thoughts of what we could see next year. In summary, Halloween Horror Nights is canceled. Tribute Store will still be opening soon. Announcements will be soon on when it opens. Can't wait. Uh, Also, show. That's what we forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Shows for next year. They kept teasing the show of what it could be. One thing I can confirm based on Farside's tweet, it implies Academy of Villains definitely would be here. Whether or not it would just be them in that show, heard some stuff about the Bill and Ted crossover with Academy of Villains, which would have been very interesting. Also, Jack could have still had his Carnival of Carnage stage show, where they had it last time on 25, right by, I want to say, right across from Mel's Diane.
Yeah.
I I can assume that's somewhat what they could try and do again. I know they have an Icon's House, not a Scare Zone on the original spec map for this year, so I think that's going to stay the same. I don't think an Icon Scare Zone again because they would just feel like 25.
Yeah.
I really don't want them to try and reuse concepts. I love how original the creative team can be, so I'm expecting a lot of original content, just like what was planned for this year, for next year. Uh, and I think that's everything we covered. Uh,
Yeah.
Heard some rumors about Marathon of Mayhem still playing during the Halloween season despite no Halloween Horror Nights. I won't complain about that. I still doubt it. I don't see them doing that. But if they do it, I'm not going to complain. They already have the whole show basically set up in the system. They can play it at any point. So, not going to really stop them from doing it, but I still have doubts.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I just can't see it. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give us a thumbs up, smash that like button. Make sure if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Although we only have 15 subs right now, I'd love to see our sub count rise. We love supporting each other and the small creator community for Halloween Horror Nights, and the Halloween Horror Nights community as a whole is so supportive. So please, if you see this video, like the video, subscribe, comment down below, turn on notifications, share it with your friends if you like the video. If you have suggestions, don't be afraid to comment them. You guys can also follow us on our social media that you're going to see on the screen right now. These are the official Twitter account for our YouTube channel and our official Twitter accounts as well. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jacob.
Stay scary, my friends. Goodbye.